Guys, you gotta absolutely love opportunities like this in the market. They don't happen every day, but when they do, man, I get excited about stuff like that. Guys, the charts point to a real crash in fake meat stock in the next 72 hours. Here's why history points to a drop. This is exactly what's about to take place to the shares of BYND. And no, you're not looking at the chart of BYND, you're actually looking at the chart of TLRY. You may be thinking, Leonardo, why the hell would you be showing us a chart of TLRY? Guys, it's simple. This is exact identical chart pattern. In our charts divergence course, we identify this pattern as a loss of momentum. You're not going to find this thing anywhere else, any other chart course. They don't talk about stuff like that, but this is exactly how we nailed the crash in Bitcoin in 2017, guys. Look at this. There's few basic characteristics of the loss of momentum. I don't have enough time to cover everything, but just going to talk just a little bit about it. Look at this huge price appreciation, okay? Things like this that look too good to be true, they don't last, okay? Fake moves in the markets like this, fake moves in the charts of anything, in this particular case, TLRY, they have similar characteristics. When a move like this happens from 20 bucks to $2.99 in just 90 days, the one main characteristic is this move actually takes place within a very short amount of time. Most of the stocks would take them 5 years, 10 years to go from 20 bucks to $2.99. Some never experience this kind of price appreciation. Now, oftentimes, these prices, they're driven by short squeezes. As you can see, the higher this thing runs, the higher the daily moves going into the last section right here before the big drop-off. Again, for those of you that have been trading Bitcoin, when it was going from 3,000 to 7, 8,000 to 13, 14 to 20, okay, the chart, if you pull it up for that time frame, literally in 2017, it's identical to this. We all know what happened next. We actually, the first video we posted on our channel was predicting that Bitcoin after that was going to drop to 3,000. We also nailed the reversal, guys. So charts actually tell us exactly what's going to happen. All you got to do is know how to identify these patterns. So if you want to learn more about this, guys, click the links below. Take advantage of the courses we recorded for you. But for the purpose of this video, okay, this is what's about to happen to BYND shares. And currently pre-market, they're trading about 240 bucks. And we think they're going to be trading all the way down to 145 bucks in the next 72 to 96 hours, guys. You got to love it. Look, here's some main things I want to point out before we're actually going to take a look at the BYND chart. So, huge appreciation within a very short amount of time. Notice it's okay for a stock to go from 20 to 299 over a period of 5 years or 10 years. But when something trades like this, it more resembles a penny stock. Okay, penny stock type speculative behavior, they don't last. They run up fast, but they drop much quicker. Okay, and taking a look at this, BYND definitely shares the same characteristics with TLRY. Also, I want to point out a couple of things as far as the volume. Right before this actually happens, notice the acceleration in the volume, these gray bars. The volume is definitely picking up. Also, the third point is the accumulation distribution. Look, it's hitting a pick right here, right before this huge reversal lower. Now, keep all these three things that I just mentioned in mind, because they're going to come handy as we're looking at the at the BYND chart. So here it is. Okay, same thing in BYND, same characteristic. Short time frame, huge appreciation, characteristic of a more like a penny stock type trading behavior. So from 40 bucks to 235 in 90 days. Here it is. Stocks start trading in May from 40 all the way to 235 on Friday. One other thing I guess I forgot to mention was this, right? The RSI. Look at where RSI is. Pretty much at the highest level on this chart. It coincides with the prior high hit right here. So the chart looks extra bullish, right? And that's what the short squeezes will produce. So go back to the RSI right here. You see how it had a level right here, almost revisited, and then almost coincide with this prior level. So this is the same condition we're actually observing on the BYND chart. Stay with me, guys. It's not that complex, right? It's so there it is. Boom, your RSI is right here. Look at this similarity in this black candle right here. Your last stretch. Again, we get into the last stretch right here. This is the last stretch because it's got this black candle bearish reversal formation right there. Look at the accumulation distribution that I just talked about. So if you take a look at this and you overlay it and you combine all these volume behaviors, the gray candles, they hugely exceed the red candles, right? Especially going into this last move, you see this characteristic how this buy volume is actually increases substantially. Therefore, it's reflected in your RSI. It's also reflected in your accumulation distribution, hitting all-time highs on this chart. So just going back quickly, okay, do you see that on this chart of TLRY, it's the same thing, accumulation distribution hitting all-time highs right here. The same formation on the gray candles right here going into this highest level, same candle, same conditions on the RSI. So there's about 4 different factors, 5 factors considering the huge appreciation in the last 90 days. There's about 5 things on here, guys, that actually tell us this thing is about to drop like a rock. Okay, if we take a closer look, this is what's actually going to take place next. So as you know, BYND will announce earnings after the hours. We're likely to see this. We're not saying it's just going to drop immediately. There's actually 2 probabilities, right? Yeah, it could drop like a rock immediately. After hours, could initially maybe bounce 20, 30 bucks higher and then drop. But ultimately, when the market opens tomorrow, okay, you will see this. You will see 3 big red candles. You see these red areas right here. Again, we're still looking at TLRY, but I'm saying this is exactly the same thing is going to happen to BYND. You're going to see 3 red candles back to back over the course of the next 3 trading days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're expecting BYND shares to drop lower and lower. Now, it doesn't mean they're just going to keep dropping, right? As you can see in the history of TLRY, once it drops from 299 all the way to 100, 120 range right here, it does catch a bid, runs up back to the 160, drops again, back to the 160, creates double top, drops. Okay, so all these things is basically not saying BYND will trade identically, but expect at some point for the stock to catch a bid. I think that's going to take place about 145 bucks. Bounce, so pop, shorted on the pop again, another pop, shorted again. So it's going to give us a ton of opportunity, guys. But look, when we zoom in, right, on the same thing that we were just discussing a longer time frame, we're observing on the shorter time frame, same thing on the RSI, same thing on the accumulation distribution, all that good stuff. All of that is here. So how does that compare on a shorter time frame on BYND? If we take a closer look, right, same thing. We've got accumulation distribution hitting a high. MACD looks super, super bullish. You got this questionable candle right there, which could signify possibly another handle higher before this bigger reversal. So intraday, the shares of BYND could be volatile. They could be dropping, moving higher, overall between the range of, let's say, 230 to 50. There's one slight probability that maybe the short squeeze is just going to completely do exactly what the short squeeze did on TLRY and move the stock all the way up to 299 at some point intraday. But the probability of that is very unlikely. The chances are BYND could revisit the levels that it briefly set on a Friday, which was July 26th. On Friday, BYND traded to a high of about 245, after which it kind of struggled and it traded between 230 and 240. So very similar conditions, guys, that I'm pointing out on this shorter time frame on BYND as well. Now, this is where we are pre-market on July 29th on BYND. As you can see, that's what I was just saying. Friday, we hit a high of 245. It could revisit 245. And actually, when the market opens up, it could start selling off. So far, I've been watching pre-market trades between 240, 230, 280, right around this area. And again, we're expecting this move lower to be of huge magnitude. The 12-month outlook, if you take a look, and let's say you're saying, okay, well, I mean, where we're really going here over the course of longer time frame. Guys, the history of all of those things, if you take a look at Bitcoin after it hit 20,000, there's been 12 months of nothing but drops. And that's exactly what's about to happen to BYND. It's going to drop, it's going to bounce, it's going to keep dropping. In other words, it's going to keep creating this series of lower highs, lower highs. So after hitting that 299, in contrast, right, the stock now trades at 42 bucks. That's exactly what we're expecting BYND shares to do. After hitting all-time highs, possibly today, or maybe the all-time high was set at 245 on a Friday, we're expecting the stock to trade in such fashion. And our long-term target, 12-month outlook on BYND is actually about $40, $50 a share. We think it's going to repeat exactly what TLRY did. Now, not without the bounces. And the bounces, guys, in this particular stock, BYND, will represent some great shorting opportunities. You know, overall, we're highly bullish on the market. But in stocks like that, you just can't ignore these kind of situations. You got to take advantage of them. So with that said, the easiest way to play these guys is to actually stair step into the trade, because the stock is highly volatile. It could drop $5, $10, $20, $30 on a dime, bounce back 20, 30 bucks, you know, so it could be playing today with a range of 230 to 250, okay? So if it opens, let's say, at 235, buy one put. Yes, I am actually saying on this one to buy puts ahead of the earnings, but not all of them. So if in case the stock does open slightly higher and it reverses and starts dropping immediately, don't use a ton of your account, don't use a ton of your capital, and don't just buy one option at one given moment. So let's say if you watched all the prior videos where I suggest trading in pairs, right? What you want to do is maybe buy 2 contracts at the open, 2 contracts go into the close, 2 contracts when the stock actually opens tomorrow. So overall your position will be 6 contracts. You stair step out of it and target the time frame of the trade is next 72 to 96 hours. Stair step once you start locking in some good gains on this trade, guys. So the trade is easy. If you don't understand all the stuff that I just explained, guys, you definitely need to take the charts divergence better recognition course so you can have clarity and better understanding how to trade these things. Loss of momentum pattern, guys, if you're not familiar with it, learn it, identify it, and it's going to help you make a ton of money, especially with the way the market is right now. This loss of momentum pattern is insanely valuable. The markets are going higher over the course of the next couple of months, but they are going to drop severely. So identifying some of these patterns will be crucial into shorting the market, and that's where some of the biggest fortunes are going to be made this year. So get ready, guys. The key takeaways, basically, shares of BYND will trade today from 230 to 250, possibly slight probability reaching 299 like TRLY, and that's today, July 29th, intraday or after hours, followed by a huge 3-day drop over the next 72 hours. Basically, our August 1st price target in BYND, 145 bucks. Make it happen today. Get more information on how you can propel your trading skills to the next level. Check out our courses by clicking the links below. I'll catch you on the next trade tomorrow.